It's Quest.
The Adventure Game Podcast.
All right, now I want to, before we get to anything. So Jess was having a little fun. He was having a little laugh, as they say in merry old England. And
Having a larf, are we?
Everyone stopped listening over there. That's you're costing us our beloved listeners across the pond.
They're driving around their lorries right now and just turned off the Bing Bang box in their car that plays this.
Our demographic is entirely lorry drivers.
Yes.
But so Jess, while the theme was playing, you pulled out like an omnibus, like large hardcover of John Steinbeck.
Yeah, the collected work that I like to read, and when I read the classics.
Why do you have a large collection of John Steinbeck, like right next to your computer? Author of the Red Pony and Grapes of Wrath.
Yeah, I'm looking at Grapes of Wrath right now. It is right here. It's just talking about grapes. It's just like, these grapes are delicious. What kind are they? And someone's like, are these like Concord grapes? And they're like, no, these are the Grapes of Wrath. That scene is where I was open to.
I've only ever read The Red Pony of John Steinbeck.
Did he write the short story The Pearl? Is that
I might have.
him?
Isn't The Pearl? Isn't that what's his name?
Now I'm revealing that I don't read a lot of great American literature. Oh no.
No, it is Steinbeck.
Oh yeah, there you go.
It is Steinbeck.
There's my 10th grade education paying off. No, I mean the answer to that is it's my wife's book, and she really enjoys Steinbeck, and I think she just left it on my desk. So
she's a Steinbeck head.
Yeah, she's she's a Steinbecker, and also she enjoys the tennis of Boris Becker and the Ted Danson sitcom Becker. So I mean, she's just sort of and the musician Beck. Yeah, and probably another Beck thing that I can't think of at this moment.
Now
it's her favorite part of a bird, the Beck. Ayla Beck, Ayla Tet.
Now watch this. I'm gonna bring things back old school.
Oh, old school.
You can find me on Twitch. It's PS_Garrick.
Oh, yeah. Is that? Do you stream video games there?
Yeah, adventure games.
Yeah,
adventure games on Tuesdays.
Yeah. I'm Decaf Jedi on Twitch. I'm currently taking a little break from streaming, but I'll be back soon.
He'll be back soon.
I'm on a fact-finding trip.
Yeah, you're have you found any facts?
Yeah, it turns out there was and get this, Ben, an 8th King's Quest game. I've been digging through the archives, and it's a little known fact, but there is one after the one with Rosella and Valenice. It's called Mask of Eternity, and it sounds like it's quite interesting. It finally brings some action to the series.
Well, that was my main complaint of King's Quest 1 through 7 was not enough action.
Yeah, that and hating the royal family of Daventry. You're like, why do I have to play as a king or a member of a king's family in every single one of these games? It's why you love the first half of King's Quest 3 so much, because like finally I get a break. I'm just some kid living with a wizard,
an evil wizard. Yeah,
an evil wizard.
Now
I hate that wizard.
Yeah, banana. Now, Jess, now's the time when we talk about if we've had interesting dinners or anything recently. Have you,
Ben?
I point an accusing finger.
Ben, I indulged in the ultimate luxury today.
Okay.
I snuck away between classes. I have a brief window between my classes, an hour and a half, right around lunchtime. I have one of those short hour and a half lunch breaks. But I got in my car and I drove to the decent sushi place. And I had sushi lunch. Just like on a whim. I decided
you had sushi lunch from the decent sushi place?
Not the good sushi place. That's like another 10 minutes away.
Okay.
But from the decent sushi place.
Now, what's your, because I have like a sushi place order.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have an order of operations when I go to a sushi place. What do you get?
You see, I am really
and this
limited.
is lunch, so
I have,
you're not
I have a
go all
shellfish allergy, which
right,
really throws me off. So I mean, like right away at your average sushi place, I am just like limited off the bat. I'm getting a lot of tuna and salmon probably just by default. So that's a real bummer. I love shellfish, but about 15 years ago, I developed a horrible allergy.
You can have eel, right?
Yes, definitely eel.
Okay.
And weirdly, this place was out of eel today. Like normally
out
an
of
eel
eel
roll. Like what I want to order is a nice dragon roll. Like I want eel, I want eel sauce, and I want avocado. That's like my go-to sushi.
Unagi roll.
Yeah, a little bit of that action. So what instead I had today was just some had a Philly roll. I had some of the salmon with cream cheese, which it's all right.
Philly roll is perfectly good.
That's fine. It's fine. And then I had a spicy tuna roll. I did get
so you got 2 rolls.
Got 2 rolls and a whole bunch of seaweed salad because I like the squeakiness of seaweed salad. I like a food that squeaks when I eat it.
Have you had cheese curds? Because that's a squeaky
yes,
food.
Same thing. Squeaky food. Yeah, all up in my biz. I like a food that squeaks on my teeth. Like weirdly, I don't want to think too much about this, but I don't know if you've ever enjoyed at. Do you guys have McDonald's in Chicago?
No, we don't have McDonald's. We have the headquarters of McDonald's downtown, but
that's
actually no McDonald's.
Wow, that's a real crock. Sorry, Ben. I'm sorry. Ugh. But for some reason, I find the McGriddle breakfast sandwich to also have a disturbingly squeaky quality to it that I would rather not think too much about.
Yeah, you don't want to think about where those squeaks come from.
I can't tell if the squeak is coming from the strange pancake bun or if the squeak is coming from the egg product that's on it. I hesitate to call it egg.
Yeah.
It's reconstituted in some way, I suspect. But
there's a protein gelatin that is white and yellow.
Yes, that is a disturbing squeak. But oh man, the squeak of some of that seaweed salad, that's what I'm looking for.
When I do a sushi order, I typically also do 2 rolls and a miso soup. And my general order of operations is I get one of like the stupid rolls.
Yeah.
From a place where like they'll have their list
ingredients
and it's just like every fucking fish with 5 million different types of sauce.
Yes,
I get one of those, and then I get like like a California roll or whatever. Like I get, because you know what, I'm in Chicago. This is not. I'm not appreciating the quality of the tuna.
Fish straight out of the lake.
Yeah. Like,
no.
This is,
I mean, I'm in West Virginia. If it's out of the Ohio River, I'm a dead man before midnight. It's game over. But I mean, one of my favorites is, have you ever messed with the Oshinko roll, which is going to be like the Japanese pickle roll? It's just like,
that sounds refreshing.
Quite lovely. We also have a place here in town that does an odd combination. I can't imagine this is authentic in any way, but they do an avocado and peanut roll, which peanut is surprisingly lovely in a sushi roll. You wouldn't expect it to be. But if you're into the vegetarian rolls, those are great options.
I do enjoy a vegetarian roll.
Like I like to order the crazy ass roll too. It's like I like the one that takes like 4 lines to list all the ingredients.
Yeah.
And then also they deep fry it for some reason. And it's never as good as the simple roll.
The deep frying, unfortunately, is always like
it ruins it.
It always makes me feel sick. Like that.
Yeah, no, it's terrible.
That is like, that's something where as a red-blooded American, I'm like, of course, deep frying a sushi roll sounds delightful. And then I have it, and I don't even have I eat it and I'm like, that was good. Oh no, I feel sick later. Like I have it and then immediately I'm like, ugh, like
Here's the
I
problem
feel
though.
sick.
If at that point I've paid like $14.99 for the specialty roll, that first bite I feel like, oh, this is a mistake.
Oh, you gotta eat all of it.
I got to eat the roll.
It's
I'm
also
not going to be
sushi.
like,
It's not going in the fridge.
that's right. It's especially a deep fried one. It is every
For a
second you
variety
wait,
of reasons, it's just not going to be good.
yeah, it's getting worse by the second.
Yeah.
You've got to power through it at that point. Otherwise, you're just like leaving money on the table. There's no choice. You have to take this roll that you regret, that you could have gotten 2 simpler rolls for the same price that would have been more enjoyable. But now you're stuck eating this expensive sushi roll that's deep fried and has 4 kinds of mayonnaise on it. And you're just stuck.
Yeah. That's a terrible situation.
You're just stuck. Ben, have you had anything good to eat lately?
I made last night homemade like a chicken sausage patties.
Oh.
And I made those and roasted up some broccoli rabe and then tossed all of that in fettuccine.
Oh.
And it was pretty good, but I am going to say, so the chicken sausage was essentially like just taking ground chicken and then adding a bunch of like fat and flavor and stuff, because like ground chicken is very lean and flaky and kind of flavorless. And so this recipe called for adding ricotta as one of the ingredients to kind of give it body and flavor and a little fat. And the my grocery store is one of those places where they'll also, like, it's a independent grocery store and they'll make a lot of their own stuff. And their batting average on make their own stuff is pretty high, but they've had misses. Like their guacamole is exceptional.
Really?
Sorry to say.
I've seldom encountered a prepared guacamole I cared for.
Yeah. But I'm sorry to say, this ricotta, no good. It had
like
that
Renata.
Yeah. It had a little fuck off.
What a crock.
Pun not intended. So it had kind of the flavor of like a little bit of a medicine-y aftertaste.
Oh, no.
Like probably because I've made ricotta, because ricotta is a very easy cheese to make. You can make ricotta at home. It's fun and easy. Anyone could do it. And so whatever acid they added to it to make the curds, like whatever it was, I just didn't like the flavor of. But I made those sausages and I just had leftovers. It all tasted better today. So
that's the best kind of leftover.
I also went off-road and added a half tablespoon of I'm gonna mispronounce this. Apologies to everyone. Gochujang. Good call.
Yeah.
yeah. I was just like this bunch of shit I'm adding to this chicken. I need to give it a little something extra. I was feeling the need, especially because I had a taste of the ricotta and I was like, I don't like this ricotta, but it's too late. I'm down this road. And so it's like, I'm going to add some gochujang.
I have to change the subject.
Why?
I need to know. What Muppet are you and what Muppet do you wish you were?
I don't have all night, Jess. I don't know the answer. this is a leading question, which implies to me that you want me to ask you this. Is that correct?
No, I want to talk about the new Muppet Show.
I see.
That
Yeah.
debuted on
That's
Disney
why.
Plus.
I watched it last night as well.
Okay, well, first I need to know what Muppet you are and what Muppet you wish you were.
I don't have a. I'm who's let's see. Which Muppet am I, and which do I wish I was? Well, I wish I was Rolf.
You aspire to? Oh, you know what? Rolf is objectively the best Muppet
because
like,
Rolf
he'd be a good dude to hang out with.
Rolf has such a fine energy.
Yeah.
Rolf of all the Muppets, he's the one where you look at, look at him and go like, he's gonna help you move.
Rolf is on the short list of Muppets who I feel like would make my anxiety levels go down if I were hanging with him. I think most other Muppets, I'm going to become more anxious around.
Speaking of anxiety, I feel Kermity just as a like kind of outspoken person that has managed shows that's very anxiety driven.
Okay, so you actually have like hands-on experience Kermiting.
I have hands-on Kermit experience.
Yeah. I mean, I think I aspire to be Fozzie. Which
you
is maybe
aspire to be Fozzie. Yeah.
I don't think I'm quite there.
Uh-huh.
I think I'm probably Scooter. I think I'm Scooter.
Well, you see, Kermit and Scooter work very closely together.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think we are hand in hand, but clearly you're running the show.
Now, so you watched it last night as well, I assume.
I watched it tonight just
you
before
we. You just watched it. So you're champing at the bit.
That's me champing at the bit.
Yeah. You really want to talk about the Muppet Show special that just dropped on Disney Plus with special guest Sabrina Carpenter.
Yes.
So what did you think? Oh, okay.
I'll go. What I really appreciated about it was that it didn't try to be anything other than the Muppet Show. There wasn't. I mean, the Muppet Show is already meta in the way it always was, but they didn't add the additional layer of meta too thickly. Like there wasn't too much of a look at us, we're doing the Muppet Show, wink, wink, nod, nod. They were kind of just doing the Muppet Show, which I really appreciate about it. And I think Sabrina Carpenter was an ideal pick to launch this. If you want to get eyeballs on it, someone who has a sense of humor about themselves, knows how to act along. I mean, the secret to acting alongside the Muppets is acting like they are human actors.
Yeah.
And the people who get that do well. And the people who treat them like I'm acting beside a puppet are the ones that don't work with the Muppets.
Right.
And she clearly was like in the world of Muppets as she interacted with them, which is key. So I thought it was pretty good. It was
pretty good is exactly. I was like in the annals of Muppet Show history, like let's say, because I think this is like their attempt to pilot it, correct?
Yes.
Like
yes.
that's what people are saying is that if this does well, we'll get like a show.
Yeah.
Is that this feels to me like all the seasons of the Muppet Show, there are like, there's the Mark Hamill one, which is like, people put up at the top, right?
Yeah.
And like Steve Martin, like, like episodes where they're like, oh, wow, like this is top shelf. And so I wouldn't put this anywhere near those. I would say this is like one of those kind of like, because they're kind of boring or just kind of meh episodes of the Muppet Show. This was like just a solid double, I would say, in baseball parlance. Like it made me laugh. Like it had a couple good jokes. I thought the puppets looked great. I thought that I thought the music segments were great. The little sketches. and it
the
was
choice
also
of how they filmed the Muppets, I thought looked quite good. Like
Yeah.
I felt like it felt like the Muppet Show, but certainly there was a little bit more of an interest, maybe in interesting cinematography than you would have gotten from the original Muppet Show. They tried to hit some interesting camera angles here and there, moved the camera a few times.
Yeah, it was you know, it was a real if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
They didn't try, like, to your point, they didn't try to get too clever with it. They didn't like it was corny. It was for kids. Like it was very clearly for kids. But like to be enjoyed by families. It was family entertainment, done very well.
Do you think this will find an audience? Do you think it'll work? Or are people just done with the Muppets? Are kids not going to come back?
If this doesn't do it, then you know, hang up Kermit.
Wow, you heard it here first
in a museum. If this isn't
rip
like because what else could they do? They've tried like modernize, like, you know, they did like an Office riff,
which was decent
on the Muppets. They've done like they did 2 relaunch era movies.
Could we try it with a different member of the Freaks and Geeks cast? Like we've seen what Jason Segel can do, and now we've seen what Seth Rogen can do. We may get like Busy Phillips's Muppets.
Yeah.
Well, actually, we are getting that, aren't we? Is she on? No, wait, she's not on the Miss Piggy project.
No,
she?
That's Cole Scola.
That's right. Yeah.
No, we are going to work through everybody. I think I like Seth Rogen's take on the Muppets more than Jason Segel's, which I thought was kind of boring. And for some reason, they must have lost the Walter Muppet. Must have been lost somewhere because he doesn't show up at all.
He actually died
in this.
Yeah, he was shot. It was pretty tragic.
He was dumped in an unmarked grave. Now, speaking of unmarked graves, what have you been playing?
Wow. Ben, I have been looking for a nice slow burn game to suck up a little bit of my free time. And I returned to a game that I played a couple of years ago and kind of drifted away from. I've been playing a little bit more of Marvel's Midnight Suns again.
Oh, good game.
It's a very good game. I started over fresh, so I'm only a few hours back into it. And man, what a delightful game. If listeners don't know this one, it probably came out now, like 6 years ago. Yeah. It's been out for a little while. But this is basically the Marvel Comics XCOM game. Yeah, 4 years ago, 2022. Yeah, and was immediately available on sale for $7.99 in every store. I think this is a game that had a rocky road after it came out, and it's a shame.
If I recall correctly, it came out around the same time as what's the popular Marvel card game thing you were playing?
Snap. Marvel Snap?
Yeah, let's see here. Marvel Snap release date. Marvel Snap came out October 18th, 2022. Midnight Suns came out December 1st, 2022.
Oof. And Marvel Snap was big. I think it's still fairly big. I think it's still going, still running events, still has a pretty big user base. But this one is, I think what surprised me about when I played it then, and what continues to surprise me about as I return to it, is on the one hand, you have sort of the XCOM, strategic combat element to it with lots of fun Marvel characters, including some that are a little bit off the beaten path. You have some obvious ones, like, of course, you've got Spider-Man and Wolverine around, but you have a few more obscure characters. You have Nico Minoru from The Runaways. You have Magic, who I guess is a little bit more mainstream thanks to Marvel Rivals these days. You have a fair number of supernatural style characters to tie into the storyline here. But the storyline's what's really impressive. There is so much game here. In addition to all the XCOM segments, just the amount of storytelling, all with like really terrific voice acting from a lot of the actors who performed as these characters in other games and animated projects as well. Just a lot to sink yourself into. I don't know how many total hours this thing would be to work through the campaign, but it feels like, as far as I got the first time I played it, it felt like I was just barely getting started, like
Yeah, you
10
didn't get
hours
that
in.
far.
Yeah, exactly. So,
And to be honest, I didn't get that far.
yeah, there's a lot to love about it. I mean, it almost started to feel overwhelming. I started to realize, like, oh gosh, there's almost too much game here, which very quickly makes me drift away from games. I get intimidated easily. But I've been playing Midnight Suns, and you know what? It has been something good. I like a slightly more strategic game occasionally where I just want to, like, really occupies much of my thought process to distract myself from other things. And Midnight Suns has been doing a nice job of that. So that, Ben, is what I've been playing. What have you been playing?
Well, Jess, I'm going to return to something that we've, a well that we've kind of been sticking into in these What Have You Been Playing Lately, which is I have another board game.
This
Another
is our
board
pal
game.
Tabletop Ben checking in.
It's Tabletop Ben here. And I've been playing, so as mentioned, my board game night is back alive after over 10 years. I've had
Amazing.
a consistent. And as I said, I think when I was discussing this, my friend said to me, like, I'll see you next Wednesday. Like, we're in it now, where it's an assumption is being burnt in, which is incredible. And so we're working through, like, campaigns of Slay the Spire, which I talked about last week. And with that, we play one act a night, and Slay the Spire can be up to 3 acts if you don't die before it, which we've died twice on Act 2. But usually that takes about like 45 minutes. And so we have a little bit of time afterwards, and we have like energy afterwards, but not for a whole other act. 45 minutes to an hour, let's say. And so the other, like, our, like, kind of like, let's play a quick game is this board game called Can't Stop. Have you ever heard of this board game, Can't Stop?
No.
Can't Stop, it's been around for decades. It's not a new game. And but it's not one I had heard of. Like a friend of mine introduced me to it some years ago. And it's one that I've been successful at getting a lot of people into, including my entire family. My entire family now plays, like, I brought it to family vacation. And and now, like, my brother's family, like, owns a copy and they play it all the time. And, like, so on and so forth. Can't Stop is a very simple dice game where you are like, kind of, it's a press your luck game where you roll 4 dice and you have a big board that's shaped like a stop sign, and you each turn you have 3 little runners that you can advance up 1 number that is the sum of 2 dice rolls. So from 2 to 12, essentially. And in the game, you can stop and save your progress, or you can keep rolling. But the second you have a roll that none of your 3 runners are, like, if I have on the board 4, 7, and 10, and I roll all 4 dice and I cannot add together a combination of 2 dice to that, then I lose all my progress. And so the game is, how far can you press without completely washing away all of your progress? If you stop, you save all your progress and it's locked in. And so,
it's like press your luck. It's exactly like press your luck.
It is. That's all it is. It is just a great press your luck game. No whammies.
Stop on. Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's an awesome game. I highly recommend it to everyone. A game of Can't Stop is very fast, and then like you can get so fucking mad.
I was looking at box art for this on BoardGameGeek.com. Do you happen to have the like goofy mountain climber version?
No, I don't have the mountain climber version.
I will say I love that the design like that. I don't know if you've seen the mountain climber version.
I have seen that one.
Yeah, but the combination of like what is some like goofy cartoony art along with the designer's name, which is Sid Saxon.
Yeah. Good name.
But it also makes that feel like it's a parody name of like a real designer whose last name is probably Jackson. Like it's giving Mad Magazine parody of a real board game with that cover art. So shout out to the cover artist. Rethink that one.
We've received an email
just now. Ding. Ding. You have an electronic message, as AOL used to say. Famously.
So this is the title. This is from our friend Quill, and the title is Some Reminiscence of Terry Pratchett. Hello, Ben and Jess. I listened to the latest episode as of late January about the Discworld video game, and it brought back many memories, mostly of the Discworld novels, which I was exposed to in the 90s when they already blew up in Israel. The English reading market there was much closer to the UK than the US at times. My small Anglophone crew in high school was all over it at any rate. You know, sometimes when you're reading this for the first time, you start to put emphasis on something and then realize
at any rate.
At any rate. Sorry.
At any rate.
When I think the first I read in English and really enjoyed was the same as Jess's, strangely enough, Feet of Clay.
Wow.
I probably would have wanted to start with an earlier one, but at the relevant age, I was limited to what happened to be available at the local public library, whose foreign language section had a few gaps. I think the actual first one I read was The Color of Magic, but in Hebrew translation, whatever Pratchett already got right there, and all the puns never made it through the language barrier.
Oof.
That was something I was wondering is like Discworld books are pun heavy.
Yes. And so, really live in the choice of language and phrasing and everything. I think would be I think it would have to be you translate the spirit of these jokes in a lot of cases more so than the literal translation, you know?
Yeah. Like, you know, I read, have you ever read Stanislav Lem?
No.
The Siberiad,
Steinbeck.
So the Siberiad, which is a series of short stories about robots, I believe that is a translation. I believe that he was Polish and it was translated from Polish. And those, like the Siberiad, is full of wordplay and puns and like rhymes and stuff. If I recall correctly, it's been a minute since I read it. And I remember reading it and being like, how do you translate this? I don't know. Anyway, I guess they fucked it up in the Hebrew version of it though. Oh well. For Terry Pratchett. Back to the email. Similarly to Ben, I also remember Small Gods very fondly. I do think that's one I have somewhere in a parent's house, although it's not with me. I still find myself saying, first there was the word, and the word was, hey you, randomly. It's been more than a decade since I've read Pratchett, probably ending with either The Truth, a send-up of journalism, that's a good one, and Thief of Time, a scathing critique of bureaucracy. Felt that his lore was getting too involved for my taste. In terms of games, I actually played Discworld 2 first, got stuck a bit after the overworld opened up. I don't think either you or I have played Discworld.
Yeah, it's on my list forever.
Yeah, we should, yeah. I can't imagine I would have made it even that far with the first one. I have to register my difference of taste with Jess. I enjoyed Simon the Sorcerer 1 more than I think I would have enjoyed Discworld 1, and I still recommend 2 as more a non-walkthrough requiring iteration of a similar concept. Like with literature, I was possibly simply exposed to more British humor on TV growing up, so I guess it speaks to me more. Blackadder, including the first season. I enjoyed that one quite a bit. Monty Python's Flying Circus, Are You Being Served? Etc. Finally, I heartily agree that the Space Quest in Space Quest 4 don't really feel like Space Quest that would actually happen unless Al Lowe happened to take over the franchise. Keep on questing, Will.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Will, very, very much.
The most interesting thing, like, I do really think about, like, translating with puns and wordplay and stuff like that. Like, I have a copy of I think it was like I have a copy of the Brothers Karamazov, which at the time that I purchased it, it was like a recent translation, and they were like, there's a foreword and they go, it's like, this is using, like, this is actually, here's why this translation is much better, because it captures the intention. I only speak one fucking language. I don't like, and so I really wonder, like, it's just something really interesting to me. And I wonder, like, a lot of, like, I just played Foolish Mortals, good game. And I think they just added a language to it. I know it had, I think, German in it. And I think they might have just added a language. Let me take a look, because I remember, like, finishing the game and then a day later it getting an update. Yeah, they just added a Russian translation.
Oh, nice.
And so I wonder, like, and that game has puns and silly stuff. And so I wonder, like, how do you do that, like, for an adventure game? So if you're someone listening that has ever worked on a localization or has any thoughts on that, let us know. questquestpodcast@gmail.com. But now let's get to the subject at hand, but in a nice, cozy, easy way, by playing a little bit of The Price is Right.
Ease me in.
This tune kind of sounds similar to our corrections tune, I think. But anyway,
well, we aren't going to make any more mistakes, so we can repurpose this.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So I have two. We're gonna do this quickly because
okay.
I have two here. It's two different copies of Conquests of Camelot.
Okay.
And so here we go. The title is Conquests of Camelot, Search for the Grail, Sierra 3.5 and 5 1/4 disc. 1989 PC game, so this is the PC. There's some very handsome photos here. It does not look like it's been sat on.
Okay.
Which is pretty good. It looks like
so these are NSO, they're not sat on?
Yeah,
NSO.
One of the 5 1/4s does look a little bent, I'll note. But holy shit, 10 5 1/4s?
Yes. I have this game, and it is like, that box is packed to the brim.
Yeah. So the photo here, and I'm looking at the description, and it just kind of describes the game. So it's not. Looking at the photo here. Also, by the way, it says brand new, but you see everything that's in the box, so it's not brand new.
Yeah, it's not sealed.
Let's get this shit right. But it looks like it has the manual, and it also looks like we have a hint book with the Sierra Adventure window.
Oh.
So.
Oh.
Jess, how much would you bid on this?
I would bid.
Or what's the price?
This copy. I'm going to guess that the going rate on this is going to be $67.95.
Too high. It was. It is $55.40.
Oh,
which leads me to think that Conquest of Camelot might be affordable.
It is. I will say,
of Sierra games.
Weirdly, the STI Zero games seem to be, in a lot of cases, some of the more affordable. Like you can get Codename Iceman for next to nothing.
That's crazy.
You can get Conquests of Camelot and Girl's Bequest for less than you would think. They seem to run less than the early games and also less than the big box 256 color ones. So that doesn't shock me. This one does run cheaper, but I was thinking with the adventure game window and hint book, it might drive it up a little bit more. What's my second item?
The second one is the same thing for the Tandy. It says PC, IBM, Tandy, MS-DOS. So I guess
it's probably the same version.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be a special Tandy version of it. So what's the condition we're looking at here?
It says good. But I'm going to note that it just shows the box, which looks fine. Like the box looks good. And 4 discs. No manual.
Ooh,
now,
are we talking 3.5 or 5 1/4?
So, I let me read the item description from the seller because I think this will help. This IBM Tandy MS-DOS game titled Conquests of Camelot is a must-have for any vintage video game collector. The game boasts an exciting array of action and adventure with a focus on boxing. Sierra published this game, which is compatible with PC platforms. The game comes in a big box, and although it is untested, it is sure to bring back nostalgic memories of the golden age of video gaming. This item falls under the video games and consoles category and is a great addition to any collection.
Now, when you say it focuses on boxing, like when you box that boar at one point, or the Black Knight,
I revisited this game earlier today. I don't remember any boxing. I mean, maybe that's in a path that I have taken.
There's that scene right at the beginning when you're still at King Arthur's college before he goes out to search for the Holy Grail, and you box with the boxing instructor there before you embark on your big quest.
Oh, yeah. All right, how much are you gonna bid on this?
$34.95.
Once again, $27.95.
Man, yeah, this game is very affordable. Gang, if you want your own copy of Conquest of Camelot, there's no better place to start your King's Quest. I'm sorry, your Sierra Online. I was going to say King's Quest 4 is also usually very cheap. Your Sierra Online big box collection. Go out there and get it today.
I mean, I was tempted to buy this, but if it doesn't have the manual, I don't want it because
the manual is arguably the best part of this game.
Like, yeah, if it doesn't, holy shit. King's Quest 4 for $30?
Yeah. I mean, you can you can drop that easy. I mean, that's like a sushi lunch.
Yeah, that's like a sushi lunch. Sushi lunch. Oh, sushi man.
Loose sushi.
All right. Anyway, today we are talking about the adventure game Conquests of Camelot. Quest for Grail. Christy Marx's first of 2 games. We already spoke about the second one. For Sierra, Christy Marx, as we discussed in that episode, she had a pretty interesting career up to that point. Gem and the Holograms.
One of my absolute favorite things from my childhood. A show that I watched religiously. Just loved it. Couldn't get enough. Gem and the Holograms. Would occasionally go to my neighbor Jana's house where she had all of the Gem and Hologram dolls, and we would play Gem and the Hologram dolls together as a child.
Ooh.
It was good times.
Yeah.
Who didn't love Gem and the Holograms? Ben, that was probably like for you growing up, like me watching a Betty Boop cartoon. Like you're just like, what is this? Like, why are they just bobbing around in time with some music? I
didn't even ever watch a Gem. Like, I don't even know if that was in, like, I mean, it must have been in rerun somewhere, but I was.
It may have been one of those that just disappeared as soon as it was gone. Like we aired our last episode, and someone just started throwing tapes in a garbage can. You know,
I was only aware of He-Man because my older brother's toys were still around, but like I wasn't I also, and I might have talked about this, I had a allergy to like as a kid, cartoons that weren't funny.
Yeah. 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 I
Like
mean,
I was just very strongly of the opinion as a kid that like cartoons were meant to be funny.
mhm.
And when like the new adventures of Johnny Quest would come on, or something else that was a little more dramatic, I would just kind of be like, this is boring and it doesn't have any jokes. I watched a couple episodes of X-Men. That was the only one that like kind of had my interest.
Yeah. Gotcha. I mean, yeah, I mean, Jim and the Holograms, I mean, they own an orphanage. So, like, right away, that's kind of a bummer.
Who owns an orphanage?
Well, do you think they just like spring up?
Like, I mean,
They're probably getting, here's the
I
thing, they don't
assume that
talk a
they're
lot
run
about
by
it.
like non-profits and like
I'm assuming they're getting a ton of
churches
money
and
from the state.
state.
Like, I'm
Yeah.
guessing that, yeah, I think they're probably like, cutting a big check for every orphan they bring in there to kind of, dubiously watch when they aren't touring the world with their latest album.
Is that really the plot of Gem and the Holograms? This rock band, like this hair metal 80s girl
Mhm.
group,
Mm-hmm.
runs an orphanage?
Yeah, it's called Starlight Manor.
Okay.
Which wouldn't that be a great name for an orphanage?
Or an Andrew Lloyd Webber musical.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly right. But yeah, they run an orphanage. Jerrica Benton is the head of this. She is also secretly living a double Hannah Montana style life as Jim. She uses a holographic computer that her father built, an artificial intelligence named Synergy, who, when she touches her magic earrings, it turns her into Jim. And then she performs with her band. But she runs their nonprofit in her day-to-day life, which is an orphanage. And they're occasionally like one of the girls at the orphanage is doing drugs, very special episodes kind of things too. So,
Ooh.
you get fun stuff like that.
Um
It's really mature storytelling, Ben, is what I'm trying to say. And Christy Marks, but I will say, I am the one nerd who, when I read in Interaction magazine that Christy Marks was going to be doing games with Sierra, I was just like, I love her work on Gem, because I'm the kind of nerd who watched cartoons as a kid and paid attention to the credits.
mhm.
I was like, I need to know who's writing this this pablum.
Now, yeah, revisiting. So I've played and beaten Conquests of Camelot. I got to it much like this podcast. I got to it much later after having played Longbow, which I
Mhm.
think is a marvelous game.
Yes.
So here's my main here's what I think is the main question
Mhm.
of Conquest of Camelot. I think this is the key here,
Mhm.
which is
Mhm.
is a vibe enough to float a game if the game itself isn't very good?
I want to say my response to this, because this is almost exactly what I have written down. My answer to it is, for me, yes. I think this is one of the most mid Sierra adventures in the catalog,
Not a lot to it.
and I absolutely adore it.
Not a lot to it.
Yeah, and it is all vibes. I mean, so much of it is copy protection, essentially, where you're just like referencing the manual to get
You're
details necessary.
solving flower riddles where you
Yeah,
have to look up
yeah.
the
And then you're solving riddles at one point.
that was another one of my notes, was that this is one of my notes revisiting the game today was so there's a part of the game where uh you have to solve multiple riddles to get through this magical barrier, like each of these stones making a
To get your
magical
donkey
barrier.
back.
And they're just normal riddles. They're just straight up riddles. And I
Mhm.
was just like, this is from a period of games, mostly the very end of that period, where you could just have a riddle in a game.
Yeah. And let me tell you, Ben, I don't know if we talked about this way back when we talked about adventure game puzzles,
I
like
mean,
episode.
Longbow also has riddles in it too.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I love a riddle in adventure game. I think I just
You
like riddles.
love a riddle.
I love a riddle.
You're a
Like,
riddle lover.
I'm a riddle lover. As far as I'm concerned, you can riddle my games with them. Just chock a block with riddles. I shouldn't. This should be the kind of thing I don't like about adventure games, I feel like, because I think at some level it's kind of lazy design. I mean, it's not.
Yeah, I don't care for riddles.
I love it, and I don't know what it is. I think because for a kid, I wouldn't say I was good at riddles, but I was better than the average idiot child.
Mm-hmm.
And I think riddles always made me feel smart, especially the kind of riddles you'd stick in like a Sierra game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I just liked that it's like, I can read that riddle and guess the answer to it correctly. I must be a genius. And I think that feeling as a child was something I held close to my heart. And maybe it's carried over to adulthood, where my riddling skills are even less impressive than they would have been in like a 10-year-old child.
Well, that's the thrill of playing an adventure game is solving that puzzle.
Yes.
And being like, I'm the smartest person that's ever lived.
Yes. I came up with a completely unique solution to this to this problem that has, designed with one solution. Yeah. I don't know, but yeah, for me, this is the big question. Like, I think you're right. I think this is a game that in a lot of ways coasts on vibes. There aren't a lot of traditional like adventure game inventory driven sorts of puzzles.
There's horrible
just, arcade sequences.
Yeah. So to march through the demerits of this game, which also just if you haven't played it, is like this is your King Arthur, and a horrible plague has struck the realm, and you sent out 3 of your best knights to go investigate, and they haven't returned.
You're getting cucked hardcore.
Well, and I mean, what's really fun about that, about the getting cucked by your most,
you have the cuckold swans.
Yeah, that by your most handsome and charming knight, is that is just a thing that the game has and like keeps returning to, and then has like does nothing with, which is like it's because I believe that's just part of the legend, right?
Yes,
is that she was very much in love with Lancelot, and like and so I mean that's part of it, is that the game's like, yeah, this is just part of the story. She just isn't into you, but she's your wife.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Like, but the game brings it up constantly, which is really funny.
If only you had fair Guinevere's hot.
But you don't.
You don't. Yeah, that's
like
sorry, my lord.
Yeah. So you endeavor to find your knights, and then ultimately go find the Grail off in the Middle East. And anyway, but going back to the things that this game has, which would be considered design sins,
Ding.
Those awful arcade sequences, not fun.
Mm-hmm. No. No.
Riddles, a maze, constant copy protection stuff, and kind of a lack of, except for the bizarre sequence, and by bizarre I mean Bazar.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, did I spell it right?
That's close enough. How bizarre, like the song.
But
it's about shopping at Bazaar.
I think I misspelled it. How embarrassing. Anyway.
Oh man.
But that sequence,
the
there's like a sequence about like 2/3 through the game or so, where you're like kind of trading inventory items between merchants at the bazaar, and like that. Like I remember playing that for the first time and being like, oh, this kind of feels kind of normal adventure gamey. And so it has all this stuff, this maze and riddles and arcade sequences,
Dead
and
ends, soft
constant.
blocks. It has a Walking Dead puzzle at the end where you've been bitten by a plague rat, and if you can't finish the game quickly enough, it's just game over.
Literal
And the timer
Dead.
isn't visible. You don't know this.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of does everything wrong an adventure game from this era might be expected to do.
And yet,
I love this game.
So yeah, the question is then is like, so this game kind of fails at a lot of the measures by which I would say is something a good adventure game. Is this a game that I would recommend to someone? This is a great adventure game. It fails by all of those. What it has instead, which makes it something of interest and worth like checking out, is that it has spectacular art by Peter Ledger, who
Christy Marks' husband, I believe.
Yeah. And it's SCI Zero, as mentioned earlier, but and I mean, honestly, I love the art in all of those games.
I do too. There's not an ugly SCI Zero game.
Yeah. This one might, like, I think I've even said this. This one might be the best one. This one might be the best one. But this one is something about the very limited palette of those 16 colors really brought out a lot of incredible creativity, especially from the Sierra artists.
And I really like on this one how you get things like the like medieval screen borders that surround most. I mean, it really sets it apart from the other Sierra games that you have, like just cool UI effects like that kind of frame each of the screens.
Yeah,
I mean,
everything is
really
framed.
handsome game.
There's a lot of great art around lighting scenes and characters. Like at the beginning, you go to the treasury and there's this inexplicably shirtless man standing the treasury to give you your gold, silver, and copper. And like he's very dramatic. I mean, he's shirtless because there's a huge fire in there, which is lighting him in a very dramatic way. And like in the intro cutscene, there's this you see Merlin, I believe, for the first time, and his face is lit up in this strange green way. He looks so unworldly and strange. So the art is spectacular all the way through the whole game, from when you start in Camelot to when you fight the Saracen, the end. Then the writing, why you bring a Christy Marks in, somebody with all this television experience, is excellent. The game has this wonderful narrative device, which is that it is narrated, like the premise is that Merlin won't be with you, but he'll be watching you and narrating and providing advice. And so all of the descriptions you type, like, look forest, are written as if Merlin is explaining that to you, which gives all of the descriptions and all of the bits of narration this really lovely kind of point of view and character.
It avoids the look at tree, it's a tall tree kind of problem, in that everything is peppered with a little bit more flavor. Like Merlin throws in a lot of milords into his description. And again, clearly this is a writer doing her thing. And I think that is incredibly evident. I mean, this is doing a lot of the heavy lifting of what makes this game, which again has a lot of stuff that doesn't go around the design side of things, that holds it together in a remarkably charming way.
There was a thing that I caught this time revisiting it, which I forgot about, which is that when you talk to people, they have like the little SEI zero dialogue boxes. When you talk to Merlin, all of the responses are in the description boxes, which I was like, how clever.
Yeah.
Like it's nice. It's something that feels very like in the way that so much of the adventure game side of because my guess, and I have no idea, I don't know. Christy Marks, I know you're still around. If you're interested in doing podcasts, our door is open.
We'd love to. I would kill for an interview with Christy Marks. Just tell me who.
I would, please get in touch.
Yeah.
I am going to assume, just kind of based off of my knowledge, and maybe this is in one of the Sierra history books. Given my understanding of how designers at Sierra were kind of put to stuff, I get the sense that she was just tossed into the deep end and just told, like, all right, make a game. You're like, and probably also with a level of excitement, because she came from like this show business background, which I know that Ken Williams was quite enamored of. And so all of the game part isn't great, but the all of the story part and all of the writing, all of the stuff that someone of her level of experience has, is excellent.
Yeah.
And there's certainly no shortcuts taken on both the quality of the writing, and also it's very clear that this is something that she has a lot of passion about.
Right. And I mean, you see that also much like Conquest of the Longbow. We talked about sort of the level of historical research that was put into Longbow. You see it in the game itself. You see it in the documentation that comes along with the game. Like, she clearly wanted to take this seriously. I remember one of the things that charmed me most about the game the first time I played it was some of the choices to use non-standard spelling for the names of a lot of the characters. Like
Lancelot and Gwen
Yeah. And like even spelling words like magic with a K at the end.
Yeah. And color spelt like the in the British way.
Yeah. All those sorts of little details. And the fact that you're having this narrated to you by Merlin, and that it's presenting something that, to especially a kid, feels certainly more historically informed than the average game.
So you played this as a kid?
I played this contemporaneously. I probably played it right around the time it came out. Yes, I did.
Beat this game.
I beat this game through sheer brute force of trial and error, getting things wrong. No hints. Just powered right through this baby. And I want to again stress I was very good at the riddles, Ben. You should have seen me. People would gather around my computer and be like, "Look at the riddle master go." But I think that choice to have Merlin narrate does a really lovely job of making the game quite immersive in a way too, and it's fully realized world. In a genre, I think sometimes that maybe struggles a bit with immersion. It feels like you're sort of watching. It can be very easy in an adventure game to feel like you're watching something play out on your screen that you're not part of. I feel like this game does a nice job for a third-person adventure of really kind of pulling you into this world.
So, I think a thing that I think about with adventure games, and this is kind of because I think I'm still kind of stuck on this initial question of it's like, is a vibe enough? And I think it also kind of asks the question, that we've been talking about since the very start of this podcast, which is, why are you what are you getting out of these games that like why are you still playing this dead genre that doesn't exist
Mhm.
anymore and no one makes new games for?
Yeah, it was killed right after Grand Fandango.
Yeah. And there's a lot of reasons why people play adventure games.
We're in it for the money.
Yeah, and we're in it for the money, and let me tell you, the podcast money is great.
Yeah,
And
and the ladies.
um and so if you're because there are adventure game players who are playing specifically just for like the thrill of like taking apart a puzzle, stuff like that, and like complicated puzzles and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And there's or interacting with characters, or like and and sometimes it's frustrating because also and I'm sure like it's just frustrating to me having discussions or posting on a forum or whatever, but I have to assume that like our friends that we've had on this podcast who are game designers might feel this frustration, is that people feel very particular about what their vision of an adventure game is. And
Well, yeah, you're going
so
around starting fights on Reddit lately about this sort of stuff. Like you're just like out there just getting up in people's grill telling them how to enjoy adventure games.
And I'm not even going to dignify that with an answer. And uh like I I think that people, you know, especially because, you might not be familiar with this, Jess, but
Mhm.
I've been on some of the darker corners of the internet, and I can tell you that
Uh-oh.
there are some people, a lot of people on the internet are very nice.
Mhm.
There are some people that even when it comes to adventure games will adhere to one very doctrinaire opinion that only exists for them, and react extremely hostile to anyone or anything or that challenges that view.
These are
Jess,
gamers you're talking about?
now, Jess, I know. Jess, this might be shocking to you because, like, I
I
know
only see
that.
the best in people. I mean, first of all, that's me. I'm a real scooter.
Yeah, you're a real scooter, but unfortunately, I'm Kermit, and I see things as they are, and
Kermit the realist and Scooter the idealist.
and but so one of the things that I love playing adventure games for, and something that gives me a lot of joy when I play an adventure game, is kind of existing, like having this chance to be and explore in this other world. And that other world can be like, it could be a auto fiction version of New York City in 2003,
Or an autoerotic fiction.
of Phobos in the far future.
That's right.
Uh, but but like or it could be Camelot, and in this, so like I'm not going to say that I don't get joy from playing this game. I can't say I don't have fun playing it. I'm not playing it the way that it was designed and intended, which
Mhm.
is like I play this with a walkthrough, and I couldn't imagine not playing it with a walkthrough.
Yeah. I mean, if I encountered this today, yeah, this would be a tough one to try to power through. I mean, again, as we've talked about a million times, I probably played this when I was 13 years old. I had all the time in the world.
Yeah.
I could afford to go halfway through the game and realize that I didn't get the right denomination of coins at the beginning of it
Oh, Jesus
and
Christ.
have to backtrack or something like that. I mean, that was just like, great, I get more excuse to get my money's worth out of this game.
Yeah.
That's just value added every time I have to backtrack several hours.
Well, and what's funny is it's like, today, you can go on to like GOG.
Oh, and there's a huge adventure game sale underway as we
is there really?
record this. Yeah. Massive.
Well, I don't believe that it's on sale right now.
Well, that's the one that isn't.
But you can purchase this game on GOG for $6 American.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, maybe if I purchased this at release and was just like, frustrated by that, like, by the problems of this game, that might be one thing. But to buy this game that has like wonderful writing and aesthetics and fun music.
Oh.
For $6?
Who isn't going to do that?
Like, come on. This is a thing I like about the game also, is that it has like these tunes that are very like, kind of chill.
Yeah. The game is a vibe. I think that is its secret. And like the vibe is everywhere. Like wandering through the medieval forest of Britain, the scenes near the frozen lake, the lake you have to cross by like casting a spell and following a little cloud of rose petals as they move their way across this dangerous frozen lake. I mean, that was amazing stuff for me as a kid. And then, again, the game throws in its share of, I mean, we've mentioned before, the arcade sequences are just terrible. I mean, what all do we have? We have boar fighting. You're on horseback and you have to spear some boars that charge at you.
Ugh.
Very difficult to get the timing. It doesn't feel completely consistent. Like the timing of exactly when you thrust your spear. That one's aggravating. It usually takes me a good 10 tries to get through the boar scene. The jousting with the Black Knight.
Yuck.
Oh, you have to think about moving your lance and your shield, so you're trying to play offense and defense at the same time with two different hands, and it barely works, and it doesn't feel like there's a real rhyme or reason to it. That the feedback that you're receiving as you do it doesn't really tell you what you need to do to improve it. What else do you have? You have the sword fight with the Saracen.
Ugh.
Terrible. It's like a worse version of the Quest for Glory 2 combat interface.
Yuck.
I feel like. What are there other arcade sequences that I'm forgetting in here?
I think that's all.
I think that's them. And yeah, none of them work. None of them enrich the game. But you get past them, and there's some good stuff waiting around the corner. For me, it's easily forgiven, even though these things nowadays drive me crazy when I go back to replay this game.
Yeah. There's also one of my favorite moments in the game, which is when you book a passage on the ship and you become friends with all the sailors and get way too drunk. And Merlin has to wake you up the next morning. Like, you get dialogue boxes. Arthur, wake up. And then there's you don't see Arthur, you just see the ship in the dock. And there's a very slow motion rising up of Arthur's head. And it's a very funny joke. And then it punctuates it with, "You indulged too heavily in foreign wine." Is there very much British wine?
I mean, probably there had to be at the time, right? They weren't trading a lot.
Can you grow grapes there?
I don't know.
Hold on.
I don't know. Let me check. I have a reference manual on this very topic.
Oh, yeah?
Right here in hand. Let's see if the Grapes of Wrath has anything to say. "Pigs up here," said Pa. You can't spill a pig and scald yourself like you can hot water. Water about ready? Just about, says Ma. All right, Noah, you and Tom and Al come along. I'll carry the lot. We'll slaughter down there and bring them up here. So I don't know.
There is wine. There's a whole Wikipedia page. Wine from wine from the United Kingdom. So there you go.
I mean, there's wine in West Virginia, but you don't want to drink it.
We're gonna get such a nasty gram from the Professional Vintners Association of the United Kingdom.
They've been on our ass since we started this podcast.
Most is English sparkling
Fancy
wine.
a wine, do you? Yeah. It's like, no.
Like the United Kingdom, this is Wikipedia, is a major consumer of wine, although a minor grower and producer. You know, I say that about myself as well.
Now, I've made a few batches of wine.
I'm more of a consumer and kind of a minor grower.
One time, I left some Welch's grape juice out for too long, and maybe I produced a tiny bit of wine from that before I finally found the glass and went and emptied it out. But yeah, otherwise, I'm on more of the demand side of that curve.
Wine production in the United Kingdom has historically been perceived as less than ideal due to the cool climate, but warmer summers and grapes adapted to these conditions have played a role in increasing investment in the sale of wines. So, Jess, you were saying to me that you didn't like climate change, but check this out. Now we can get more wine from Britain.
Yeah, and I always think if I could just get more food and beverages from Britain.
All right, no, that's a mean. There's a lot of very good food. I'm not going to go down. I saw someone became the main fucking character of Blue Sky for everyone was like, oh, making fun of British food. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lazy joke.
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 I love fish and chips. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
I had
a
trainer at the gym, and she was from the United Kingdom, moved here, and she Chicago has a couple like kind of British style pubs where you can get like fish and chips and
shepherd's pie.
Well, yes, shepherd's pie, which is really great because it gets such as it is now, unbelievably unpleasantly cold, and that is very good. Like, you know, you get a
I'll
stout.
stick to your ribs.
Yeah. And I was like, and I said, what do you miss from the UK living, you know, having lived here for a little while? And she's like, I miss fish and chips. And I was like, have you had the fish and chips from like here? They're pretty good. Have you had them from here? They're pretty good. And she's like, they're not fish and chips like from home. And I get it. But so you know what? Podcast trip. We need a fish and chips correspondent.
We do need a fish and chips correspondent. I have some possibilities on that. We'll draw up a list.
We'll draw up a list.
It's over.
Now that Francisco has retired, you know.
Why did he retire?
Because he gave us Guybrush.
What are we going to do with that?
I don't know. But yeah, we do have a food opening. It's called My Mouth. Now,
you know, Ben, I've heard that. Now, this is just to be completely serious.
Yeah,
I heard that you have started kind of a unique diet. Now, you haven't gone through all the I know that like a lot of people are doing paleo or keto or things like this right now, and I get like the low carb move. Sure. I think like maximizing protein and everything like that. You got to think about your macros. You know, but I mean, a lot of it's about just creating that calorie deficit if you're trying to lose weight, or creating like the protein surplus that you need to build muscle and stuff like that. But Ben,
you know what type of diet I'm on, because
you were telling me it's
omega,
like pescatarian, right? Like
pescatarian, the omega 5s or 6s or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
I myself, I'm on a you could really call it a seafood diet.
Really?
Yeah.
What's that like?
Well, if I see food, I eat it.
Thank you, Ben, for knowing exactly where I wanted to go with that. Oh man, that's what 66 episodes of podcasting gets you, is that kind of perfect comedic connection. That's what it's all about here at Quest, the Adventure Game Podcast.
I think something you and I have in common is to me the build up to a joke is considerably more interesting than the joke itself.
Yeah.
That's why I'm more of a major consumer and a minor grower.
Oh my god. Oh man, what game were we talking about?
Conquests of Camelot.
Oh man, you remember Ali Faker, who ran the Camelot in Quest for Glory 2?
Just getting that now.
Oh really?
Yeah, pretty good.
It's a pretty good bit. It's a pretty good joke. You know, it is interesting that in this period, Sierra went to, like, in Codename Iceman, sort of a contemporary version of the Middle East. In Quest for Glory 2, highly fictionalized, mythologized version of the Middle East. And in this game, a historical version of the Middle East. And, of the three, I think Codename Iceman might be the worst.
Yeah.
Hot take.
When bright yellow is one of the main colors of your palette, you're thinking, how can I work a desert in here? How can I fit in an arid environment?
Yes. And in Codename Iceman, it feels like, how can I fit in an arid environment and knock out the last third of this game in one afternoon? If I'm making these, yeah. Like, I think when we talked about Codename Iceman, I made the arguments like that palette just makes the back end of that game so ugly. But then you're very correct to say, well, that is the palette of a large chunk of Quest for Glory 2 and the back half of Conquests of Camelot, and they look pretty good.
Yeah. All right. Do we have anything
I'm putting
else?
you on blast, Codename Iceman.
Yeah. Do we have anything else to say about Conquest of Camelot?
I do think, you came in with the same question I came in with, which was, can a game that, maybe mid is giving it too much credit. Again, I think if a modern player approached this game, it would be everything that they think is wrong with old adventure games, or maybe especially everything that's wrong with Sierra adventure games. But I really feel like it manages to transcend that. I feel like it is strictly a vibes-based game. And, maybe in some ways, I think Longbow is the better game of the two, but the vibes are even more immaculate there. It's still running on its own fair share of vibes to make up for some of the fiddly design choices that are present in Longbow. We talked about Longbow and had nothing but praise to heap on it, and rightfully so. I think it is a Sierra masterpiece in a lot of ways, and you can find a lot of that same DNA in this one.
So Jess, I was paying attention to a lot of that, but I just saw something very funny in this Wikipedia article. Would you like me to read this?
Sure, I'd love to now.
Okay. This is from the Wikipedia article. Wine from the United Kingdom under the heading,
the Conquest of Camelot one. Okay, hit me.
Under the heading 21st century. However, English vineyards share European weather patterns, so 2006 was a bumper year. 2007 saw ripe grapes, but low volumes. 2008 was very poor, but both 2009 and 2010 were good years. 2011 was average. 2012, dreadful. And 2013, good.
That feels very judgy.
It's a very strange passage from Wikipedia.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you what Wikipedia has to say about West Virginia wine.
Yeah, let's see.
Let's see. Nicknamed the Mountain State, West Virginia has the topography, which is an important factor to wine region terroir, taking advantage of the prevailing winds.
You didn't sound that confident in your pronunciation of terroir.
I don't know that word.
It's like the ground, I believe.
And the general topography. That's topography twice in one sentence. Vineyards planted along the mountains benefit from constant winds. They are funneled through the valleys, constant winds, drying the canopy and reducing the risk of fungal vine diseases. So that's one of the things that
I had one of those.
Yeah. I mean, that's really the selling point of West Virginia wines is minimal fungal vine diseases.
You're trying to do, I know you're trying to do a norm at me.
I didn't mean to do a norm.
You were trying to do
very much
norm.
do a norm.
Yeah.
I normed that so hard. Now looking back. Oh, we've mostly focused on French hybrid and native Vitis Labrusca. We have our own native grape here?
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Somebody has become a big fan of West Virginia wine right tonight.
You know, Ben, I don't know if I've ever completed a glass of wine.
What?
I don't think I have.
What?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever finished a glass of wine.
What?
I drink it by the bottle. No. No, actually, I don't care for wine. I mean, I've had a glass. I've finished champagne before. I'll drink a sparkling wine. I don't.
You know, most of the
Wait. You know, like some interesting champagne facts?
Well, no, most of the wines of the United Kingdom are sparkling, so perhaps you would enjoy them.
So they're actually literally champagne.
I've got a couple years that I would recommend, and a couple years I would.
As my internet sommelier, what would you suggest?
Well, if you're thinking of British wines, I'm gonna say or United Kingdom wines, because anyway. I wouldn't get the 2008. Very poor. 2009, really? 2010, good year. 2011.
And what was the difference that really was it the terroir?
Yeah, it was the terroir for sure. That remains the same. 2011, that's average. So you could get it. But I'm warning you right now, stay away from the 2012 wines. They're dreadful. Dreadful wines.
So dreadful, you wouldn't even pay a penny for these dreadfuls.
All right, well, so this has been our discussion of Conquests of Camelot, game that takes you from the court of King Arthur all the way through the forests, and also the ice, like a iced over pond. You meet an ice maiden. Go to the markets of Gaza. You go into catacombs. You do it all.
You drink from the Holy Grail, just like Henry Jones Sr.
Yeah. So you get it all.
You get it all.
It's So
Ben, do you think you would be worthy of the Grail?
Yes, of course.
I think so too. I think of the two of us, you would be most likely to claim the Grail.
Gets the Grail, but I'm sorry about
What's Scooter get? No. Scooter's back at court.
Yeah.
He's like keeping things tidy.
All right. Well, folks, this has been another successful episode of Quest, the adventure game podcast. You can send us an email at questpodcast@gmail.com. Please rate and review. 5 stars, please.
We really do appreciate it. We're trying to get our numbers up. Our producer is telling us that if our numbers don't come up, the next episode could be our final one.
Yeah.
And I don't really know what that means, because like our costs are minimal and like Ben and I are doing this for free.
Yeah.
I don't like why you would cancel it. Like, I think the quality is what it's ever been. It's not getting worse. It's not getting better. It's just it's very steady. Line. Yeah.
And
like give us the reviews.
Join us.
Who are you not to review us?
Next week when we discuss Space Quest 4. So when you get a job at Monolith Burger,
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
what do you think of that sequence when you're making the burgers? Because I don't like it.
You know, I think there's a part of me that likes the concept behind it. I feel like to me it's very I Love Lucy coded. Like
Sure,
conveyor belt out of control. How do you
sure,
keep up with it? It suffers from the clunkiness of
yeah.
any SCI arcade sequence of like it just doesn't move the ingredients around as smoothly as I would like it to.
I think my problem with it is that it doesn't feel like there's very much variation. Like it never it just feels like I mean, it's not even that it feels. It is exactly that you're just doing the same action again and again and again until you have enough money. And like, if you're making like an arcade sequence of any kind, you have to vary it up. Even in the original Astro Chicken, they move the platform around a little bit. Like there's nothing, right? Do they not? Do they not move the platform around? Does the
No, I don't think
platform?
they. I think it's constant. I mean,
Okay. All right, well
honestly,
then
Ben.
they don't understand arcade
Yeah,
design.
yeah. I mean, what a crock.